Hello, high performers. How's everybody doing? I am here with Dave Ruel. Woo
I'm doing good.
woo.
I'm pumped.
Thank you so much for joining us. Actually, we had a bunch of people um, say they were going to be able to join us live. We do a lot of replay watching, but I'm so excited that we have, I think, at least like 11 or 12 people wanting to show up and hear you live
Cool.
talk about work-life balance and mindset stuff and how to like organize all the things.
All the things
So
in
I'm
the
psyched.
business and the life. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to show up for done by noon. I think this is what's going to be what just attracted there. Like
It's
most
pretty sexy.
everybody. It's funny because every time I run a workshop for the ethic methodology, and then I say, okay, well at that time we're going to cover the done by noon methodology. I say it's everybody's favorite methodology until they realize they're actually not going to be done by noon.
So it's a trap.
It
So
is. No, it's like, it's an analogy, right? So it's an analogy. It's a framework really, but it's a framework to show you like the power of prioritization and
yep.
and prioritizing on the right tasks. It's like a 4-hour work week, right? I mean, there's not an entrepreneur who works 4 hours a week. Everybody, it's just a metaphor for freedom, right? And I think
Yeah.
there's a way to get it, and there's a way to balance everything because everybody's different. It's a thing. So, but yeah, you got to
Everybody.
grab people's attention.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's sexy, it's possible. You just have to know what to prioritize, like you said.
Yeah.
There's other stuff too, and definitely want to get into that. But I first want to introduce you for people who don't know you, and I'm going to take a second, if that's okay, to read your bio because you are like I told you yesterday, you're such a badass. Dave's a Canadian entrepreneur from the East Coast. After creating 3 multi-million-dollar online companies and selling 2, in the span of 8 years, Dave founded Ethic, a company specialized in helping ambitious professionals become more efficient and effective by employing better, simpler working methods and systems. And Dave's having some freezing issues with this video, but it always comes back.
I do freeze from time to time. Yeah, I wanted to go live with you guys from my iPad Pro, and it said that StreamYard that we're using now, we needed a new browser, an updated browser. So right now I'm frozen with some. It looks like I got green lipstick.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I do. But no, yeah. So it looks like I'm free. I'm frozen. Hold on. Let me. Here's what I'm going to be doing. Boom, boom. No, sometimes when I stop the cam and I bring it back, I just unfreeze. But that's fine. And you know what? I will, if it's too choppy and I don't come back, I will come back from my iPad Pro. So it's still updating. So at least you can hear me. I will unfreeze. Even I will thaw eventually.
Hey, Dave, hold on one second. I don't see our live streaming in the group.
Oh. Hold on a second.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, you're live now. I see it.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We're live.
Okay. Now I'm hearing some feedback for some reason.
Oh.
We're just a mess.
Yeah, no, there you go. It's working. I don't like in the group though. I look. I'm totally. My video is not there because it's like I'm frozen. So, yeah, Susan, we're live. There you go.
Okay, Susan, we're live. Okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, let's roll. Can we first talk about work-life balance as an entrepreneur?
Let's do it. Let's tell.
Issue.
Yeah. So give me your question. So what do you want to hear about work-life balance? What are the challenges that you see your community having right now?
I think one of the things that is really hard is, especially if you're an online entrepreneur, showing up, taking time out to write content, finding time to do all the things, right?
Yeah.
That we have in our heads that we have to do. First, I think that's an issue, you know, like the mindset behind what we think we should always be doing as an online entrepreneur. And just how to like have a life outside of growing our businesses, because you never really get there, you always are growing. So how do I know this is a loaded big question, but where could we start with that?
Well, here's the thing. I think, and you say it, when you say all the things, I think we put so much pressure on doing everything under the sun, especially when you're an online entrepreneur, because I think it's maybe even more relevant for women, because we are bombarded by influencers, by people telling you, oh, you should do this and you must do that, and if you don't do it, like, your business is not going to grow, yada yada yada. And for someone who I've been at it for a long time, so I can tell you that most of the stuff you're hearing, it's overkill. If you focus on what on the right things in your business, on the things you should be doing right now, you're going to be fine. The key with that is and you're familiar with the EFIC methodology, but we have 4 steps in the methodology, and the first step, obviously, is to look at it's a projection phase. So it's to look at where you want to go. Okay, where do you want to go in your life? What do you want out of your business and your life? And we paint a very clear picture of what it looks like in the future. So that's always the starting point. That becomes, we call that the big picture exercise, and that becomes really the North Star. That becomes your point of alignment. And what we want to do with that is gaining clarity and understanding, okay, well, this is where this is our point of alignment. And we know at this point, when we have that figured out, that this is always where we're going to head. From there, we do what we call an annual guideline. So we have 5 items that we ask you the question where we ask you, what do you want to see become a reality within the next 12 months? Okay. So this question, you have to ask yourself, what do I want to see in the next 12 months? What do I want to see become a reality? What do I want to see manifest in my life? And from there, we look into your first 90 days. And now we start establishing projects with you. Okay. And with the projects, we show you really how to break them down into daily action pieces. And doing that, that ensures that you're always aligned with what you want, but you also have control over your workload. Okay. You understand how much work you can do, and you understand what's the important work to do. Because I think a lot of people confuse productivity for activity. So the more that they do, the more productive they are, which is just not true. At EFIC, so EFIC is short for efficient. And with efficiency versus productivity efficiency is understanding that the output, if you want, is what you truly want. The input is the right management or the right amount of your 3 finite resources as an entrepreneur, which are your time, your energy, and your attention. When you understand how to properly manage your time, your energy, and your attention, now it becomes interesting, because now you can understand, okay, here's how I operate, here's the workload that I can put on my shoulders, and here's the workload that I can carry over time for sustainable success, right? Or for sustainable progress. And I think if you guilt yourself that you're not doing enough, or you're not doing what you should be doing because this guy tells you to do this and this woman tells you to do that, that's just not going to work, right? So you have to understand what's going to move the needle, in your business, and what are the right things to do, and schedule that at the right time, right? So obviously we have more like in an Albright framework. We have the Done by Noon framework that we use to prioritize that. Obviously our realities are different. If you are a full-time entrepreneur, well, your reality is going to be different than someone who like is starting just like a side business, for example, right?
Mm-hmm. So can I go back to confusing productivity with, you didn't say the word busy, but what was the word you used?
Activity.
Activity. Can you speak to that? Because I think that's a really huge issue for people.
Well, the thing is that like there's the misconception, especially in the entrepreneurial world, that you have to hustle all the time. You have to work your ass off constantly. You have to do this and you have to do that. And hey, can you give me a second? I'm gonna be there you go, logging in from my iPad Pro. So
sure, of course.
I'm gonna have video. I'm just gonna need to find Safari where it is. Give me 1 second here.
So for those of you on here while Dave does some adjustments, hi Susan, how are you? Thanks for hashtagging live. Give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up. We're talking about productivity, being efficient, the mindset work behind all that, how you decide what to do. And we're so glad that you're here with us, and we're having a few technical difficulties, but we're working on it. And if you are here, make sure you put live, or if you're catching the replay later, hashtag replay.
Yeah, I'm still working on this, but
okay.
Give me. Oh, here it is. This is really weird.
I mean, it says we're live, but Dave, I don't even see.
You can see me because my camera is broken. So.
No, I mean, I don't even see our live on my phone, which is weird.
Really? Well, Susan can see us. Can hear
yeah,
us.
Susan can see us.
And
that's really all that matters.
Maybe it's because you are actually streaming from. You might not be able to see it, but I think others can.
Let me check with my VA just real quick. Did you go live in the group? People are asking. I'm live now. So I just got a message from my VA, Susan. Did you go live in the group? People are asking. Let me just can I just take a second to figure this out? I want to make sure everybody gets to see it. Yep, got it.
Or we can restart it. Can we?
Nope. She said, yep, got it. Tagged anyone who asked.
Okay.
Okay. So, are you set? Are you good?
No.
Oh, okay.
Until I mean, yeah, I don't know. Somehow I had to StreamYard doesn't really work for me. So hold on. Oh gosh, I don't know what's happening there.
I may start having to do these on BeLive or Zoom.
Yeah, somehow like it doesn't jive with my browser.
Well, we're live right now. My VA just told me, so I don't know.
Okay, well, I'll have to do it this way. I'm sorry. There you go.
That's okay.
We're gonna do camera. I'm sorry for everybody.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's all right. So we were talking about the hustle, the like pressure to like the hustle, the entrepreneurial hustle, the grind. It's a very masculine sort of speak that really causes, I think, a lot of internal stress for us, and the difference between being productive and active and like productivity versus activity that's going to move the needle. How do we decide?
Well, here's the thing. Like when you get started, like so are the women in the group like starting their own business, or are they full on with their business right now? Because it's two different things.
There is a pretty good mix from what I can gather at this point. Not everybody in the group has introduced themselves, so I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Um, we can ask Susan. Susan's on here right now. Where are you at in your business, Susan? There are some people who are just starting, but others who are, making, they have some level of success. Yeah.
Because like I think we guilt is like, we guilt ourselves that we have to do a lot or we have to be all over the place and do everything. The truth is, in business you have to, you have to do what's really important, that what moves the needle, what makes you innovate and grow as a business. But you have to quickly realize that you're going to have to delegate, outsource, and automate a lot, of what you do, right? So what we do at Epic, we really help you identify, okay, what projects are going to move the needle with based on what you want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And also what we're going to be, what we look at is what are the tasks that are important for your business that make the business continue growing and, are necessary for the good operations of the business, for the good operational health of the business, that you have to keep doing, and what are the ones that you should not be doing, and that you're better off delegating, outsourcing, or automating that, right? There's something, we have an exercise called the drifting cost, and what we want to make you realize with that is that there's a cost associated with not doing what you should be doing, right? And the thing with that is that once we establish that, and we establish, okay, here's your zone of genius, here's your zone of competence, like of what you should be doing, and the rest you should look into different, as I said, delegate, automating, and automating, outsourcing, automating as much as possible. When you get start, and sometimes it's for financially, it's a lot harder because you're starting your business, you can't afford to have, X amount of people, this and that, or you need to, you feel like you can't rehire. I think when you start with the small things and look into really what the cost is of these things, and gradually build the systems needed in order to bring back, if you want to a more, back to your genius, or back to what you do well, right? So yeah, it's you got to be careful not to confuse that. At Ethic, as I said earlier, efficiency is the key for us. We look at productivity from an efficiency standpoint, meaning that we're not, like, when you look at the equation of productivity, it's output, the ratio of output to input, right? So it's the amount that is produced compared to the amount that we can put into the machine, right? So if you go from the optics that the output is as much as possible, I'm going to do as much as possible, and I'm going to do as much as possible, and I'm going to be putting as much as possible in out there. The key, and then you're going to be like, okay, well, the input is as much as the machine can take, right? So you're going to keep feeding the machine all the time. What's going to happen? Your machine's going to go at full speed all the time, and you might not have, it's eventually it's going to break. The way we see it is that the output, as I said, is the desired outcome, what we really want to accomplish. Then the input is using the right amount of time, energy, and attention. So once you do that, then you understand that, okay, now I know how to manage my time, my energy, and attention. I'm used to that workload. Now you can move to the next level. And now your output might go even faster. You might reach your goals faster because you understand how to work. It's like working out, right? If I could tell you, Marianne, like, we're going to work out together, and I'm your coach, I'm your trainer. I'll tell you, okay, well, we're going to do bench press. I want you to bench press 220 pounds right now. So you're going to tell me, well, I can't bench press 220 pounds, right? Well, that's, if I'm a coach, I'm telling you, well, you have to bench 220 pounds if you want to grow muscles. I'm saying muscle. It's just, or if you want to lose body fat, or whatever that is, But
yeah,
my goal is like, okay, well, here's 85 pounds. Here's 100 pounds. Let me show you how to handle 100 pounds properly, so that 100 pounds become easy. From 100 pounds, we're going to move to 125 pounds. And I'm going to show you how we're going to build a program. So I'm going to show you that so you can get there, and then you can move on to the next step. Understand? So there's in sports performance, there's a principle called the principle of adaptation, and basically you work in cycles, right? You work in cycles, and you have to work in 90 days. Like we work, let's say in 90 days, we do 90-day programs. And based on that program, we're going to evaluate, okay, here's where you want to go. We're going to create that program. And based on that, we're going to evaluate the results after that. And we're going to move forward. So you're always going to progress. But for me to tell you that, hey, you need to do this and you need to do that, and you need to bench press 220,000 right now if you want to, get results, it's unrealistic. But the problem is, like most people, most entrepreneurs, and when they work with coaches, that's what they're being fed. And that's what they're being fed by social media and by everything that has to do with the hustle mentality and the hustle culture in the entrepreneurial world. And like, don't fall for that, And I said earlier that I think women, it's even worse for women because they're faced with mom guilt. They're faced with, I should be working out. I should have a flat stomach. I should do this and I should do that. And that's what society tells me to do. And it's a real struggle. So don't fall for this. This is, you have to do your own style, do what you want to do, and use the right amount of work. Use the right amount of time, energy, and attention that's required for you to accomplish what you want. Because ultimately, you define success. You have your own definition of success. Like, I think ambition appropriation is a terrible mistake. When you take someone else's ambition and it becomes your own ambition because this guy did this and this person did that. And I think it's a terrible mistake. You really have to obey by your own rules, establish your own goals, and work within your own style. That's the main key.
I really love everything you said. I love the EFIC methodology. First of all, going back to the drifting principle, that is my favorite part of the methodology. When I learned that made a huge impact on me. Because there's so much cost there's a huge price that we pay when we're scrambling, when we're comparing, when we don't even notice it happening. And we really are being fed the grind, the do more. And sometimes even if you have a successful business already, there's still so much pressure to get up at 4:30 or 5 every morning. Oh, yay. Oh. Okay, I gotta get you out of here.
No, I'm gonna boot myself out.
Susan, you couldn't see him because we were having some technical difficulties, but now there he is.
But it's fixed. Sorry for the echo, guys. Oh my gosh, I just I get animated on these things, and I hate when I'm just like the voice.
We'll edit it out of the replay, no problem. Okay, let me read some of these comments that we have. Okay. Rochelle wants to hi Rochelle. Rochelle wants to know, how do you delegate when the company hasn't made money yet to pay someone to do for you?
Yes, no, so that's a big point. So you have to identify what takes you the most juice right now and start small. So it doesn't need to be like hiring a full-on VA or hiring a full-on, employee. You can start, first of all, by automating a lot of things. So when you look at it, for example, and I always use the example of bookkeeping, for example, because a lot of entrepreneurs still want to do their own bookkeeping somehow. And you look at it, and that's always the example that I use in the drifting cost exercise, because the amount of money you're not making by focusing on something that you are average or even subpar at, like, it's money you're not making in the future. And I know when I don't have the money now type of situation, it's hard to understand, because you're only going to reap the benefits later down the road. You know what I mean? It's not going to be direct. It's not going to be like right now. It's going to feel like an expense instead of an investment. But you should look into the things that you are like you don't do well at all, and the things that you are subpar, at. So the things that take you a lot of energy and you're not really good at, start outsourcing and automate. There's tons and tons and tons of softwares now that you can use that do a lot of things for you. There's a lot of things that you can do, services that you can use that are not that expensive. I mean, I started lately in the French market. I released a podcast about 3 months ago. I knew nothing about podcasting when I did, and everybody's under the impression that podcasting is expensive. It's not. It's mega cheap. There's like $20 tools that you can use that's going to save you hundreds of dollars of editing. There's people on Fiverr that you can hire for tasks that are super cheap. I mean, I did. It's crazy. So right now I'm launching the Done by Noon podcast in about 2 weeks. And a couple of days ago, I produced the intro and the outro for the show. I went on Fiverr, and for $24, I was able to get a badass radio quality intro and outro. I mean, you're going to hear it when it launches. It's crazy, but you got to find the right people to do that.
Yeah.
Imagine if I would have hired a voiceover, hired, a music guy, hired this. It would have been crazy. $24. I'm gonna have like an extremely professional intro and outro that's gonna last me for years. So I know it's like when you get started, and yeah, as I said, the cash is tight. You have to look into automation as much as possible, and outsourcing as well. So sites like Fiverr, sites like Upwork, you can find that, but you have to start looking into it. But more importantly, the key is to start, if you want to start delegating properly, you need to start generating income. And the key to generating income is to focus on money-making activities, right? Prioritize money-making activities versus trying to do all the small things that don't generate money. Sales and marketing, when you get started, should be number one. Action over perfection. Establish what needs to be done. Establish growth projects that are going to put money in the bank and reinvest that money. I think one of the big mistakes a lot of people do is that they're going to start making a couple of dollars online and they're just going to buy stuff with it. Reinvest right away. Like even if you don't make a single dollar in net profits the first year, but you have a solid business with solid systems and solid stream of revenue, I mean, you're winning, because a lot of people don't do that. They just chase the dollars and they don't spend time actually reinvesting in their business in order to build something sustainable, right? So it had.
Yes.
So
I feel like I'm at church. Yours, yes. Thank you.
So yeah, no, but I mean, it's a step, to do that. I mean, if you keep grinding and not making money, maybe that means you don't have the right business, the right business, or the right product, or the right approach. I mean, there's multiple factors, right? Sometimes we want to do things because that worked for someone and that didn't work for someone else. That worked for someone and that's going to work for me. But you feel like, I don't know, I don't really like that. Well, guess what? It's because maybe the business model is not for you. And there's tons of business models. There's different business models. So that's that side as well that you need to figure out first.
Absolutely. I think though, and I'm going to get to some of the questions on here. I just want to say hi real quick to Natasha. Hi, gorgeous. Hi, Irie. Rochelle. Hi. Rochelle says this is great info. But I want to go, welcome you guys. I want to go back to what you said about building the foundation, right? I think there's a perception that somebody online opens a business and like a week later they're making $25,000 or whatever. And that's not, the little asterisk that says, results vary.
Results not typical. Yeah.
Not typical. Listen, that is not typical. Like, it takes consistent efficient, effective action to build a sustainable business. And you have to, what Dave's saying is you have to be able to identify those things that are going to make you money. And this is even just for in the beginning. You have to be willing to invest in your business. I mean, I think to a certain extent, you do have to front load. And I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with their
But
money, use credit cards or whatever. But
you got to be careful, because here's the thing. A lot of people are being fed that they need to invest tremendous amount in coaches, in things, in that. Yes, obviously there is, like, you need guidance, you need everything
yeah,
like that. What I don't like right now is that there's a lot of coaches that sell tactics. So they're going to tell you, they're going to bring you in their things. They're going to sell you tactical stuff. And they're not going to tell you how to run a business or operate a business or build a business. They're going to tell you, do this, do that, and you will make this.
yeah,
Okay? Here's the
yeah,
problem. Here's what happens when the tactics stop working. You have zero business. You have no business. And you got to be careful with that. So when you look into, a coach, for example, you look into starting a business and investing money into someone who can guide you, don't invest in just one tactic. Invest in someone that can actually bring you more of a 360 approach, because when the tactic is gone, it's gone. I get it. Like, and that's what people sell you. Oh, make $25 before next weekend, right? Like, that's
right,
all you hear online. Here's the
right,
thing. But the problem is, like, oh, because this guy did this and this guy did that. Every single context is different. And guess what? This is just a small part of their customer base. It's not because you're paying let's say a coach $5K for a program, that you're going to triple your money instantly. It takes tremendous, it takes dedication, and it takes time in order to do it, to build something sustainable. So don't fall for these things. Like the myth of the online business being the only way to freedom, it's bullshit. You can achieve the same amount of freedom with a brick and mortar business. It's just a matter of how you structure it, right? So
yeah,
you can have tons of excuses for that, but ultimately, well, we want three things, right? So freedom, I divide freedom into three categories: freedom of time, freedom of creation, and financial freedom, right? Freedom of time, because obviously we want to spend more time, we want to have more time. We want to have more time doing that. When we're doing what? When we're entrepreneurs, we want to create what we want, right? We want that freedom. When we have a 9 to 5, what frustrates us what would frustrate an entrepreneur, or a person that is born an entrepreneur and has a 9 to 5 right now, is going to be frustrated because he has to obey someone else's, he has to work for someone else. He has to make someone else's vision of reality. And for entrepreneurs, it's very hard, because we want to do what we want, when we want, and we want to actually make a living out of it. The money is the fuel, right? Money is the fuel of a business, and if you want to grow, you need that. So that's all what we want, as a business. But when you look at it, it doesn't say that the business needs to be online. Freedom of time, you are free to create a structure that will allow you to have the time that you want to do what you want to do. Okay, you are free to create a business that will allow you to do what you want to do. Okay, and then the third part, financial freedom, well, that depends on your business model, obviously, but hey, that's what business is for too, right? So you got to look into these things, but not necessarily that business is meant to be online and that it's easy. It's tough. I've been building online businesses for close to 12 years now. I've built many, I've sold a few. I failed at many of them too. So it takes time. It's a long time. It's hard. So the fastest way to get there is to be consistent with your work and have impeccable self-leadership, meaning that, listen, having goals and having ideas is easy, executing on them is hard. Okay, and the first way to do that is to build that discipline, build that consistency that's going to lead you there. Okay, and if you've been in business for a while and you realize that I've been doing all that, and yes, but I can't leave really my business right now. It's like, well, maybe you have financial freedom, but you don't have, maybe you're missing freedom of time, So right now, the way to look at it is that, hey, if you have money and you just feel trapped, that means you need to upgrade your systems. You need to learn how to slowly replace yourself. This is how you start becoming a real entrepreneur that will start and delegate properly. It's the hardest part, especially when you start a business and you are a small operation, but it's a skill that you're going to need to acquire. So right there, if it's your problem, you can achieve the freedom that you want, but you're just going to need to put the system into place that you want, right? Because we, at Ethic, at a higher level with higher level consulting clients, we teach the self-driving business framework, so methodology. So pretty much we show entrepreneurs how to remove themselves from the day-to-day operations.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes like this, is that when you start a business and it's you and you run the business. Okay, that's it. We help them add two components: the right people and the right systems. So you lead people, people run systems, systems drive your business. And eventually, when you close the loop, the business serves you. You don't serve
Mm-hmm.
the business now, the business serves you. But you need to put the right people in the right place with the right tools in order to make that happen. It's not easy. It takes time. So but you need to learn how to do this. So freedom is a concept that can be achieved no matter what. That was my little rant about the online, myth and things like that, because I see so many things online now, and it just pisses me off.
I think it is really important though, because I think as a concept, we all know intellectually that we what we see online isn't necessarily what's actually real, but it feels real, especially when you spend a lot of your time online.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really bugs me too, as a mental health professional and mindset coach, that there are people out there saying like, well, we could get rid of all your self-defeating beliefs in one NLP session, or we can, I mean, that just bugs me because it's not true. It doesn't work like that. And it's unethical because it builds this sort of like false hope, but also a sense of helplessness because like, well, if I could just throw money at this and all that will be healed. Like,
Yeah.
no, I've worked with women for years to heal and grow and move forward. And it's not that simple.
It's the nature of human nature, though. We want shortcuts. We think that we can buy a magic pill that will make our lives better. We're not necessarily willing to do the work to do that. And it's every single human being is like that, because we'd rather take the short road than the long road. But with experience, you understand what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And there's no
And
magic pills.
And I think there needs to be more voices like ours saying, like, you're not failing. It's just there are different ways to do it. And it doesn't mean that you aren't doing it right and that you're a failure. Like you said earlier, everybody's different.
Yeah, I mean, it's our responsibility to find our own, to define, to write our own definition of success. I think it's time for a lot of people to stop listening to what buddy who pretends he's fucking awesome online, or that lady who says she has an awesome freaking marriage and she's the best mom in the world, and it's just bullshit. It doesn't work like that. There's just so much. Okay, so rule of thumb, and I've been online for 12 years now, which in real life counts for about 87 years. And I can tell you something. If you see, people are going to display the most awesome stuff on their, social, on the web,
Of
right?
course.
So
Yep.
for every awesome thing that you see, there's about 12 things that suck on the other side of the medal. And be careful. I mean, not be careful. It's also normal that people display their best stuff. Nobody's going to
Sure.
display shitty stuff online, and we
Right.
want to see cool stuff too. I mean, we're like that. But always understand that. Always understand that I want to see awesome stuff, but I know that this is not just the full picture. This is just a fraction of what's going on. Okay,
Yes.
so if you take that, with a grain of salt, and you understand that, because that's a reality, I think that's going to make you a lot more comfortable with your own choices and your own vision. That's going to make you feel more, you're going to trust what you want to accomplish better. And I think take ownership of your goals maybe better than, trying to do what Buddy does or what this guy does or whatever. Right.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it is good to hear voices like yours saying and offering a perspective that is human, right? Like you have two small children. You you talk a lot about wanting to spend time with your family,
Mm-hmm.
and wanting that freedom of time to do that. And it's a lot. We have to learn to divide our time in efficient ways, yes, but also in ways that are going to feed us, right?
So here's the thing. When I talked about the three freedoms: freedom of time, freedom of creation, and financial freedom, there's going to be different phases to, like, it's always a balance between the three. And one type of freedom will overpower the other ones at one point, and then another one will take. So it goes in cycles. So let's say you're in building mode right now. So the drive for financial freedom will need to be greater than your freedom of time and maybe your
Mm-hmm.
freedom of creation. You're still going to have that, but there are things that you're going to need to do that you might not necessarily like love doing, but you're going to have to do it because you're getting started. So in order to reach that financial freedom, you might have to do some, you might have to let go maybe a little bit of freedom of time and let go a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of freedom of creation in order to make that happen. And from there, once you get it, that's what I said, like when you start making a little bit more money, now you can start into looking at, okay, here's how I'm going to optimize my time now. Here's how I want to spend more of my time. And now that I have some income coming in and it's regular, here's the projects that I can take that I can build in order to innovate, in order to make things, better in my business. So it's going to go in cycles, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that you're always going to have freedom of time, freedom of creation, and money, it's just not true. It just comes in cycles, and sometimes shit's going to hit the fan, and your business is going to take a hit, and your income's going to cut in half, and yeah, you're still going to do well, but guess what? There goes another cycle, right? So it's to be aware that this is how it works, and this is, you're going to need to be willing to juggle, with these three freedoms if you want. and
But
and
you have
from
to be flexible, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
flexible and understanding this is how the entrepreneurial world is. I mean, the
Yeah.
photo of, like, I'll be honest, like for me, like the photo of the guy on the beach with his laptop, this is what sold me on that whole internet business, because this is ultimately what I wanted. The 4-hour work week from Tim Ferriss, like, I was like, yeah, great. Yeah, everybody wants that, but the reality is different. But this is what we aim for. So it's the reality. Like sometimes, like the reality is way different than the utopia of what it is. And
Yeah.
it's like anything else. You have to make your own recipe. Like I don't know. I can talk about it for hours on the things that I see. Sometimes I see influencers, and I've been involved in that world for long enough that I know, some people, and I'm, I know personally some of the people that you see online, and I can tell you that, they show that they're awesome husbands, and I know that they cheat on their wives. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you got to be careful with that. Like, I think everybody who displays too much of something, that means it's more than likely not the reality.
It's kind of like they're trying too hard.
Well,
You know what I mean?
it's,
Like
well,
like that
uh,
need to put all that out there is really, to me, kind of desperate and trying too hard, and it's not authentic.
No, because they're marketers. When you're an
Yeah.
influencer, you're a marketer. That's
Yeah.
all you are. So you're not here to, like, when I hear about, oh, I'm being like honesty and what was it, authentic and that.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, when you decide to become an influencer, in some ways, like, you become a marketer. You want to rally people to your ideas. You want to sell your stuff, and yeah, I think this is just what it is. I don't think they're trying too hard. It's just the nature of what they do. They're not necessarily like, you know, the best coaches in the world. They're just great at selling you what they have.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we got like the tangent we took with that, but it's
Well,
it's it's
I think when you mentioned not buying systems, you want to like build and look at sort of you, because you want to create a legacy, not just a business. So
Mhm.
so be careful, sort of, you want to put your money into and investments into things that are going to stand the test of time, not a system that's going to stop working. And that also has to do with who, being choiceful about who you're buying from too. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay, we did go off on tangent, I'm sorry. So let's see. um can you suggest video editing apps, Dave?
Probably not.
Okay.
No, it really depends on what you do. I don't do video editing myself. It's not part of my skill set. So I have no idea really
Yeah.
how people edit videos. This is something I acknowledge that I was terrible at from the start. Let's for the podcast though. I started experimenting with a couple of things, and I found, let's say, like, how you do like little like the videos like for social media with like the little sound waves and things like that. So I wanted to do
Yeah.
that for find how to do it for my quote cards, and I found a little software called Wave. So it's WAVVE, and wave.co. So WAVVE.co, and you can edit actually audio like for your social media. So it's pretty cool. When it
Oh,
comes
wow.
to video editing, I don't know. I don't do video editing, so I would not know video editing apps. Couldn't tell you.
Okay. You guys who wanted to know that, I have to look on my phone, but Susan, my VA, has some. So tag her in the question and she will be happy to share those with you.
That's a great VA
Yeah.
question.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And Fiverr, is that how you say it? Fiverr and Upwork are really great places to go if you're looking for really inexpensive support on
Yes.
really anything you need. I mean, they're amazing websites. Yeah.
If you have a small video to edit, you can go on Fiverr and have it edited like for like literally $5. Like it's that simple. Depends on what you need to do and the extent of the work, because video editing is tough. But what I recommend always is that build a template of what you want. Have a framework, like, I want this in here's my intro, here's how I want things to be done, and you have a template. You send that template, you work with someone who can do it, at the best bang for the buck. And now you're like, okay, here's a template, here's a video. My videos are typically like 10 minutes. Here's how I want them edited. What's the best part you can give me if I give you a video a week? And you start negotiating that way. And you can end up like only paying maybe a few dollars for a few dollars, maybe like, I don't know, $100 for a few videos edited. There's a service too that I use right now called Splasheo. So I'm going to give you the URL. Give you 1 sec. Splasheo. It is splasheo.com. So splasheo.com. And what it does, you can do actually video cards. So let's say you do video and you want to be displayed on social media. You can take, let's say, we can take this screen, for example, put it there, and going to automatically put the subtitles, so the captions, and a title, and a little like progress bar. And it's like, I think it's less than $25 for video. So for me to create something like that would take me hours, would take
Yeah.
probably like cost me so much money. So this is
Yeah.
worth it. You know what I mean? So there's many ways to do it, but you have to, if you want to keep doing it yourself, you can. But this is, I know video editing, for example, this is something that takes a lot of time. So
Mm-hmm.
when you think that you are saving money because you are, doing video editing and you're not that great at it, think about all the money you're not making because you're not focusing on things that can grow your business, you know?
All that time on YouTube. I've watched so many tutorials on YouTube about how to do things. Wasted so much time.
Mastering video editing, unless you absolutely love it, mastering it will take you a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
So I've decided myself like not to do it. Like it's
Yeah.
just the kind of things that I don't want to touch on purpose because I'm not going to be never going to be great at it, and honestly, like it just takes all my energy. So no,
Yeah. Not doing it. Not
not
doing it.
doing it.
And if you spent $100, that may sound like a lot to somebody who's just starting out. But if you spent that money on something as powerful as, say, a curated video that you put on your website, think about how your ROI on that is big,
So
potentially.
when we started our first online fitness business, and I remember like back in the days, like we didn't have like all the video equipment and stuff like that, or even like the video editing softwares you have now. So what we did is I negotiated 10 videos for $400. So I was shooting the video and the guy was editing them, putting like he had created a nice intro, nice outro, everything like that. And what the way we so it's like $40 a video, right? And that's what I needed to start, let's say the first quarter, let's say, of releasing videos on the YouTube channel at the time. One of these videos like became, I would say, viral because it wasn't viral at the time, but it became very popular on YouTube in the fitness world. And just this video itself started making me actually thousands of dollars a month because of all the sales it was
Wow.
bringing me. I
Yeah.
was getting hundred thousands of views on this one. And see, just because I did that and I spent that money instead of trying to do all these things, I was able to free up my time and get that. So obviously, I was able to get a winner, but you never know when that can happen. And if I had focused on other stuff and trying to do all the videos myself, I would have never got probably these 10 videos online. And I would never have, my business would never have kickstart as fast as I wanted to. And I might have become discouraged, and you know how it works. So
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you have to trust the process. Mhm.
And also trust yourself, right? Like you trusted yourself to say, okay, I'm giving this to somebody else to do.
You got to be brutally honest with yourself when it comes to your skills and self-awareness. Don't try to compensate on things that you suck at.
Mm-hmm.
That's as simple as that. You have to rework within your strengths, and you have to double down on your strengths. Like trying to compensate, and I know it's tough when you get started, and it's tough when you like want to develop something, and you feel like you're strapped for cash and things like that, but you have to do it. I when I start something new, I start a new business or a new project, I'll always bootstrap it, meaning that I'm going to bring a minimum amount of capital to get it started, and from there, I'm going to make it grow, by itself. So by reinvesting into it, and that reminds me really like how to be more efficient with how I spend my money. I could just take a
Mm-hmm.
chunk of money and make it work. But for me, I know that when I'm efficient with it and when I pay real attention and I bank on my strengths, I look for the best, the most efficient way to do something after that, like outsource, automate, delegate what I can, and reinvest. Now I know if my company is going to be, viable or not, right? Because from there, if there's enough cash, I can start reinvesting, and now I got a good recipe.
So do women, we think we can do everything all the time and brag about multitasking, right? And we would be, I don't know about, we're much more likely to spend money on other people, like our kids, for instance, than ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So even for women, I know women who are doing really well financially in their businesses, but they're still holding on to, they don't want to delegate They because their business is their identity, and they feel like to do that is somehow admitting kind of like I'm failing or I'm not doing it right, or they don't want to give up control. Do you see that at all?
I'm going to ask these people a question. Who are you to your business? Are you a parent or are you a babysitter? The roles, so technically, we look at it, you look after kids. However, the outcome is very different. A babysitter just there to watch the kids. The role of a parent is not to watch the kids. The role of parent is actually to raise these kids and take care of them as the best way they can, so that at 18 years old, or when they graduate high school and they have to fly off, with their own wings, well, that they can do it. That's your sole responsibility as a parent, is to raise kids who can be good humans and adults. So what happens if you start micromanaging your kid until he's like 45? Your kid's not going to do anything in life,
Yeah,
So
you've handicapped them.
But you handicap your business by micromanaging as well.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to understand, is that I know how it, like, I'm the same. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love outsourcing. I love delegating and automating, but I take a lot of pride, and my identity is forged a lot by my business. Like most entrepreneurs, our identities are very aligned with our business. Like, our business is a big part of us, and
Sure.
it's like it's our baby. But here's the thing: at one point, your baby will have to go to daycare. And at one point, your baby will go to kindergarten. And at one point, you're going to have to start delegating your kid, to a teacher, to someone else who can probably do a better job than you at academically, educate your kids. I'm always saying that because I look at what the teachers do with my oldest daughter is 6 years old. So she just got into kindergarten this year. And is it kindergarten? Yeah, and she her teachers, like her teacher Sarah, she's fantastic. I look at what she's doing, I'm like, wow, okay, well, there's no way I could ever do something like that. This is what a true professional do, and the way she does things and the way she interacts with them, and I'm like, this is fantastic, but you have to do it. What happens if you don't send your kid to school? Right.
And your daughter's teacher sees your daughter in a different way and is able to help in a different way than you are as her dad. And same with your business. You can't see the forest through the trees sometimes, and you need somebody else, like a bookkeeper or a social media manager, to see things and show you a different perspective that you're not able to see yourself because you're so attached.
Yeah, you need to remove these people, removed emotionally from the business in the most part. So they're going to be able to actually do a better job that way. But that's a great thing. You need to still be emotionally attached to your business, but in a role that is more the role of a visionary. You're going to be the one innovating. It's your business. You know it better than anyone else. You will have to, like, here's the thing. At one point, if you have a viable business that grows and you keep doing everything, you're just going to become a doer in your business, and you're not going to be a leader. Okay. So the business will call the shots. You will not call the shots. The key, if you want to be a good entrepreneur, responsible leader, is that you're going to have to understand that your role at this point is to spend time thinking, innovating, and helping your people, your team, grow the business with you. That's it. It's a change. It's a different mindset. It's a different skill set. But at one point, if you want to become a great entrepreneur, you will have to do it. Just like you need to become a good self-leader when you get started. Lead
Mm-hmm.
yourself first, then obviously you need to become a good, you use these skills and then become a good business leader. And that's another set of skills that you're going to need to acquire.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Wow, you gave us so much information, so much really, how what to focus on, what to put your time into. It's just awesome. Thank you. Amy, hi Amy. Cirilla, hi. Let me see if I missed any questions, Dave, here real quick.
Yeah, I see a few coming. I see a few there. Ask away.
Yeah, ask questions. Susan, I'm going up to the top, says, you guys do #live, give us some hearts, help us with the algorithm. She said, I already started part-time. This is her coaching job, I think, business. I have a full-time job and I'm about to relaunch in late January 2020. Do you have any advice for her? Hi, Lisa.
I need more context.
Okay,
I just don't know what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Susan again is talking about figuring out what to do and what to delegate is clearly important. I had to stop in the summer because I was exhausted.
Mm-hmm. So what did that teach you? What are the things that you have identified as the things that you don't want to do? Here's the thing. There are things that you're doing in your business that you actually should not be doing, and that might not be even necessary. But there are things that you need to do in your business that are necessary for the operational health of your business, but that you're not that great at. What are these things? I mean, it's like anything else. It's like tasks are like people. There's some people that will energize you, and there's some people that will suck the life out of you. Well, the same thing with your tasks. Some will energize you, and some will take a toll on your energy levels, on your health, and everything. And you need to be brutally honest with yourself. You need to have self-awareness is mandatory if you want to grow, a sustainable business. So, be honest with yourself and look into, okay, how can I stop doing that and maybe delegate, outsource, automate the best way possible, that thing. So, and again, it might not, and sometimes we do so much stuff in our businesses that we might, as I said, we might not even need right now, so maybe look at it from maybe a different perspective, understand what will really move the needle in your business, and do that with consistency.
Yeah, consistency, that's huge. You answered that question. Okay, I think we got all the questions. We're about wrapping up here. So if you guys have any questions, put them in there real quick. Dave's happy to answer them. If we don't have any more questions, then we can wrap it up.
And guys, feel free to reach out. And Marianne is actually right now, I don't know if you told them, but you're studying to become an IFIC certified partner. So bring all of our productivity and performance methodologies to you guys. So you guys are in for a treat. Yes. So
this is the planner. Isn't it gorgeous? Beautiful.
But it's not just gorgeous. It's, really it's a fantastic tool for entrepreneurs. So
it's amazing.
So the key is that you're going to be able to offer, and this is what I really like, and kudos to you for doing that, because you've invested in yourself, but also to bring the best possible tools and techniques to your clients, and this is what they're going to have. Because here's the thing, a good coach. So if you have a fitness coach, I can design a workout program for you, and I can just give you the workout program and tell you, okay, you go do it. Does that make me a good coach? Probably not. A good coach is going to be someone who will make you a good plan as well, but will show you how to do it properly, how to execute that properly, how to do this type of movement properly. And this is what a good coach does. this is what you're studying to do right now. We'll give your students. And the thing is that most of the coaches you see out there, they will give you the plan and they will let you do whatever. They will let you free without even showing you exactly, the best practice to do it. You don't, a good coach, a good fitness coach will show you how to work out. A good business coach will show you how to work. Right.
Yeah.
Period.
And
so
support
you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. And if you guys, like Dave said, reach out. If you have any questions about the planner, I will totally answer any questions you have. If you're interested in looking at it on the website, I have a link you can go to go check it out. It's an amazing planner that's not, it's just a step above actually anything you're going to find on honestly anywhere, to be truthful. But it's not that I'm biased. I use it myself and it's really good. So have a great day, Dave.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Great questions. And anytime you need me, I'm here.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a great day, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.